All right. I said I would talk about it. Let's talk about it. We got a dev chat to talk about. We got stuff to chit chat. Talk with designers. Future plans and thoughts. All right. So this is going to be the game changer. This is going to be the thing that's going to change everything. Later. All right. But later, like not right now. Like we're busy right now. Okay. Hi, everyone. It's been over a month since we launched this season update. Throughout this period, we've been closely monitoring feedback and suggestions on social media. Thank you all for your input. Based on your feedback, we'd like to share with you our future plans and new thoughts regarding content schedules, events, and burnouts. Now, this is important to lead into this. I want to give the grace of this is a new season, but it's also their first season. And so there's a lot of missteps that can happen in the first season. But just like I was saying way back when we were making videos for Diablo 4, first impressions matter. So if that first impression is absolute insert word, then it does not going to matter how much you learned in your time. Lack of transparency regarding seasonal content. Many of you are uncertain about what's coming to the game in the long run, making it challenging to plan resources and set expectations. To address this, we'll explain our ideas and improvements in 3 areas: upcoming heroes, seasonal content, and the Pioneer server plans. This is because people, unfortunately, from a free-to-play perspective, I'm not the free-to-play messiah here, but when it comes to free-to-play, our resources are limited. We can't just be throwing resources willy-nilly around. It's just not something that's doable. So hero schedules. Every season with 4 months or will last 4 months and feature 7 to 8 heroes from the 4 factions and 2 to 3 heroes from the Celestial and Hypogean factions. So if we count all of the heroes that have been released since the season release, we have Ulsa, Ulsa came pre-season, right? Or does that one count? I imagine that one counts. Ulsa, Sorin, we have Freysto, we have Olmus. Am I missing anybody? Was there anybody else? So we have one of the 3 Celestial and Hypogean factions. So by this, it looks like it's telling us at least one more. And then we have what? 7 to 8. So we have what? 4 more characters left of this season. The exact release dates for each hero will be subsequently announced on all platforms. Okay. After the current rate-up recruitment period ends, rate-up heroes can be selected in the wish list. All hero recruitment selected in Epic Recruitment. Additionally, there is a chance to obtain through S level and A level soul stones. They will be available in the Emporium for future seasons. Please stay tuned. I have always liked this feature. I do like that you can still wish list it if you didn't pull it during the rate-up recruitment section, because honestly, I haven't pulled since Ulsa. And that's been really unfortunate, but the reality of it is, part of me regrets pulling for Ulsa at times, just because I think every pull that you do that's not for your meta team is really just not worth it. If I were to make like a TikTok in this video that we're making right now, here's my #1 suggestion for anyone playing AFK Journey and you've never played before. Play for one meta team and don't touch anything else until that meta team is done. Because in all honesty, if you try to spread yourself thin, like more than 2 teams, you're probably not going to get your characters to the level they need to be. And that's just the sad situation that we're living in right now. Seasonal content. Before each new season begins, details and info for the next season will be shared through our official channels. These include game content, gameplay events, and approximate timelines. This should help offer a clear understanding of what is expected throughout the season. Here is an overview of the upcoming Song of Strife season updates. We will provide a more detailed overview of the next season before it begins. So currently, We are in 1.1.16. By end of season, we're in 1.1.17. Now, in my honest opinion, that's not a lot. And let me put it into perspective for you. When you have a 1.0, this is a major release. Typically, if you're going for something like World of Warcraft: The Burning Crusade, this is a 1.0 to 2.0 release. But typically, when a game is released, you get updates amidst that. But they're not big enough updates that they're game changing. So 1.1 being the season makes sense. But 1.1.16 means that we've had small updates within the patch that have changed, and this likely is them changing the reward systems that were staggeringly low, and then into where we are now. But we haven't reached end of season. But now, even going even further, even smaller into end of season, likely all that we're seeing here is just extra characters and nothing else. Story content. So we have a new hero side story, and then we have by end of season an additional new hero side story. Building up clan reputations. I haven't gotten a chance to see what those are, but I'm sure there's a reward system tied to it that's probably lackluster. New co-op PvP event. Honestly, I don't know how to feel about this, because the issue with the content being a co-op PvP event, I'm either going to have someone with gear try to carry me at least to like the non-cruddy ranks just so I can get my rewards, or me and another cruddy player can get past the first, like the requirements for the quest. It's just that there's no true balancing to this. There's no scaling, so it's like, what can I do? And a new celebration event. If it's anything like the Astral event, I hate to say it, but the rewards were time gated, and they weren't that great. And even the big thing we were waiting for, which was battle drills, what was it? What did it truly add? Gameplay content. Moving on. New guild mode, Honor Duel update. Honestly, Honor Duel is, I think, probably the fairest thing in the game. I'm excited to see what they do update in it. I really do hope that this is something that adds maybe a more involved reward system. That would be interesting. And then a new guild mode. I hope it's not like the current guild mode, because the current guild mode basically only matters to the top ranking players. Otherwise, you're not even making a dent as a low ranking player. So I hope they're adding something for us beginner and or free to play players. Otherwise, I guess that is another thing I can't participate in. New end of season mode. I can't really say I know what that is. And then world map casual gameplay. I really hope that this is exactly what I've been hoping for. My biggest complaint right now is that there is so much gameplay I can't experience for days because I can't ascend my characters and I can't level them up enough to where it even makes a dent. Maybe I can clear one new mob today. Oh, great. But even if I'm like 100k base power level above these mobs, it's going to take me 2-3 days before I could finish all of them. It's just unbearable. So I'm at a stage right now where it's like, I might as well just play for a week, do nothing to try to attempt these, and then after a week I'll be able to clear them easy peasy. Pioneer server. Before the next season begins, we'll be planning to release a Pioneer server. We would like to invite enthusiastic players like yourself to participate in data wipe testing for the new season. Testers will be able to experience parts of the new season early. By understanding the season's core aspects in advance, the team can make an adjustment based on your feedback and ensure a better experience when the season officially launches. I am honestly really excited for this, because if I can get my bid in there and be like, hey, I'm not your stats guy, I'm not your abilities guy, but I will show you content and be like, hey, this content's good, hey, this content sucks, I promise you that I will put more constructive criticism that's not gonna just be like just servicing like, oh, everything's good, everything's happy, everything's okay. So hit me up, Fairlight Games, because I will 100% love to participate in the Pioneer servers, because I think there's a lot of really cool aspects about the game that can be improved, and I would write lengthy comments, lengthy improvements. But I'll be fair. I will be fair. Astral Fair event, how to improve. Increasing event frequency and not requiring timed logins. Initially, our goal was to ensure players from different countries and regions were able to participate. Remember the time zone difference, but we overlooked that having players log in at specific times could actually be unconducive. In the future versions of the Astral Fair, we will plan to significantly increase the frequency of the event to allow everyone to participate at their convenience. I honestly don't know why they made it timed. It didn't make any sense to me why they made it timed. A daily login is asking a lot. So if you're able to achieve it through a daily login, I think that's hard enough. Because honestly, the way it was going, it's like, oh, it's event's over. The next one is in 3 hours. Or it'd be like, oh, you missed it by like 10 minutes. Oh, by the way, you're going to get half of participation and you're not really even going to be able to get enough tickets to be able to get rewards out of it. And so I hope that any future events that they do, they use some of, like, just like they did with Hollowstone and using that city area. I hope they use some of the less touched areas in the game after you finish the story. How often have you guys gone back through the map? Use some of those areas, allow us to re-experience some of those really nice areas in the map, and then 2, allow us to do it at our leisure. At most, require a daily login to get maybe bonus points, etc. Like, I think that it's okay to provide additional points for people who participate more, but it's not okay to punish people who don't participate every single time. Consolidated rewards for easier reward collection. In the future versions of Astral Fair, Astral vouchers will be obtainable in daily quest rewards. Participating in Astral Fair once a day with several days will earn you the most rewards. We will also extend the event duration, making it less time constraining for all players. I honestly think the time thing wasn't a big deal. When I was able to do the quiz, it didn't last super long. When I was doing the sorting event, it's not that it was too long of an event to do. It was just simply I couldn't access it. Just not being able to access it was just the crux of the issue. I love that they added something to make challenging sorting. That to me was insane. I want challenging sorting, and I want ranked challenge sorting. I want to go bananas with it. I want the card matching too. I want that too. That would be cool. That would be insane. That would be ADD as hell, but I would love it. Players who only want to collect rewards who won't need to play for the full 15 minutes each time. The rewards page will be improved to clearly show the conditions for receiving the rewards. Once you meet the conditions, you can exit, of course. Players aiming for high rankings can continue playing. I love that. I love things where it's like participation, max participation isn't required unless you want to rank. That's fine. That has always been fine. I think the same, however, should be said for Arena. If you're gonna make Arena to where anyone can participate based on their power ranking, then make it fair. Balance things out. If we're going, these are all fights pre-EX, then only allow pre-EX. Everything you drop on the map is pre-EX. If you're doing everything is Mythic Plus, all right, Mythic Plus is its own ranking. Everything is Mythic Plus. Then we can go higher and higher. That way it's based off of skill and not in like ability to place the right characters versus like, oh, you have a Mythic Plus. You have a Mythic Plus Huan. So for some reason your Huan is a tank compared to my legendary or just Mythic Thorin for some reason. You know, like, I don't know why that happens, but it happens a lot. Preventing burnout by reducing effort early season. We have heard your feedback regarding the intense efforts required to be in the beginning of the season, and we have carefully considered the issue. Under the current design, if you don't claim various gameplay rewards and progress through your stages promptly, you'll fall behind, affecting other aspects of the game. I don't think I've played the game for a single day where it didn't say I'm behind in AFK stages. And it is not for a lack of effort. I've logged in every single day. I've done most game modes to at least get my weekly rewards max. And I am still forced to basically penny pinch and get a few pulls, do a couple extra diamond 10 pulls, and just barely cross the finish line to just get through the story. AFK stages, I'm barely clearing 10 AFK stages, even less whenever I do all of my daily rewards. It used to be I would do it and I would be able to clear that and some up to like 50 because it was like just a little bit more is what I needed. But now it seems like totally like I drop my characters out and they die immediately. Same thing with Trial of Abyss. I was told like, oh yeah, once you go into the new season, it's going to be a lot easier when you start progressing. Nope. All my characters dead. Even if I'm using the new artifacts, dead. They die before they can do anything. There's no proper scaling whenever you're behind. And once you start to fall behind, through no faults of your own, even if you're participating, it happens. You're still, there's nothing to curb it other than, oh yeah, you just gotta level your characters 30 levels above your enemies and then you'll be able to clear it. Like how, like what is that? It should always be that you're able to clear something stronger than you if you're placing the right characters. Never that you have to have your EX weapon 10 plus before you can do this. Adding to this, many players worrying that falling behind levels mean that they will always play at a disadvantage throughout the season. In fact, the baseline level system is adopted in multiplayer game modes throughout the season to manage the actual gaps between players of different levels. Doesn't seem so. That is not the appearance. That is not how the game feels like. You could say that, but it's not how the game feels. As season resonance levels increase, the disparities causing levels will be minimized further. Nope. Because whenever I'm caught up to where they're at, now they are leagues ahead of me. Now all their characters are Supreme Plus, whereas maybe before they weren't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. For instance, in competitive modes like Supreme Arena and Season Dream Realm, the impact of season resonance levels above 560 would be significantly reduced. People who are clearing the game right now, I want to know what level you're at post-story. So I'm at 270. Can you imagine what that looks like? It's like, hey guys, don't worry. Past 560, it's not that significant. Can you imagine what that's like? Like telling me I gotta gain what? 200 levels before it matters? That's what I gotta gain? Okay. To ensure fairness, we plan to make the following adjustments. Current season, we will introduce an auto progression feature in version 16, which will allow players to continue advancing stages automatically in the background while simultaneously enjoying other game content. If my characters are losing, though, what's the purpose? If I'm logging in daily and I'm making micro progress, and if I log in for a week, I make very insignificant progress, what's the point of it auto clearing it for me? What we need is more pulls, or what we need is once you're leveling beyond a certain amount, it needs to matter more. It needs to make more significant changes. There needs to be a early to mid pre-mythic plus to where once we get State of Mythic or Legendary plus a certain amount of levels, that we're able to unlock significant abilities that allow us to cross through these levels. Otherwise, we're just using meta teams in the hopes that we get that meta team. Future seasons. The next season will begin mid to late September. Season AFK rewards will be calculated from the moment the server transitions to the new server. Please refer to in-game details for specifics. Additionally, the XP essence amount produced will be balanced in the early stages. These measurements will help control the gap between players, allowing you to participate at your own pace without worrying about falling too behind. I'm going to say it. If you're behind in AFK stages, you need to amp up my rewards. You need to amp up my rewards. If I'm participating in logging in daily and clearing that out, and I'm still behind, you need to start increasing the rewards I'm getting. It needs to be increased a certain amount. Because if I'm doing this daily and I'm only making like 10 levels of progress a day, let's just do this. I feel like an idiot saying this sometimes. A new AFK max AFK progress design will be introduced for the AFK season progression. The design will limit the maximum AFK XP gain per day for all players in the same district, reducing disparities caused by different AFK progress. I don't think this does it. I don't think limiting the highest players does anything for anybody. Make it to where making progress in AFK stages for somebody who is struggling and starts to fall behind, increase their rewards. Increase their rewards. Because whales and people who buy to get past those hurdles, because it's hurdles. There's just walls that you approach in the game. They're gonna progress through those first because they want to get ranked first. They don't care that people who aren't paying are getting better rewards by a small degree. It's not significant enough to make a dent in their rankings. For example, on day X of the new season, the specific district, the maximum AFK progress is set to stage 500. Player A has reached 625, so XP is calculated based on stage 500. Player B has reached 575, so their XP gain is calculated based on stage 500. And then player C has reached AFK stage 495, so the XP gain is calculated based on 495. I don't think this does it. I think this frustrates players because it goes, well, I just need to stop making progress in my AFK stages because it's not going to be, I'm cut off. So it's just a matter of calculating whatever your quotient, your quota is, essentially. It says all players in the same district, but does that mean that there's as well as a ceiling, there's a minimum? Are we having players who maybe don't play those daily or try those daily? Then is that dragging it down, like that ceiling? Beginning the next season, all floors in Duro's trials will no longer require AFK progress to unlock, but will still unlock daily. Okay, W. Final remarks. We value your feedback on these changes and we will carefully assess your ideas before finalizing any updates. We are committed to continuously striving to make the game enjoyable for you. So if you have any further suggestions or questions, please reach out to us through the feedback channel, through any feedback channel. We watch YouTube, Reddit, and we actually spy on Discord too. I mean, I hope they see my YouTube video. Of course, I'll be releasing a YouTube video and trying to show some of the flaws that I think are happening in the game, because I feel like what's happening a lot here is we're seeing a lot of changes, but we're not seeing them necessarily in a positive long-term direction. We're seeing them in a very short term. Let's patch this in a way, but it's not very rewarding in the end all be all. We're not seeing like we saw Wuthering Waves, where it's like, hey, this didn't work out, but we still want you guys to feel rewarded and like you participated. So here's this. It's not giving players significant rewards to go like, hey, this didn't work, so we're gonna make it work somehow. So that's how it feels, at least. Unfortunately, not a ton of W's here. I honestly don't think it's a lack of transparency. I think it's transparent what's happening, but it's not significant what's happening. It doesn't seem like we're making positive progress in a direction that is meaningful to players. And I think the free to play is getting left behind in a lot of marks, in guilds, in arena, in Dream Realm. Anything that has a ranking system and reward system based on your ranks, it's just extremely unfair. And I think things need to be tiered out in the sense that, I don't want to say just like this, but if you have, just like the Arcane Labyrinth, if you have so many Mythic Plus characters, you should be in a much higher tier than somebody who has maybe one, such as myself. So I think that things need to be tiered out, because imagine if you had boxing, imagine you had any type of fighting and you had a heavyweight versus a lightweight. They would get pummeled. It's just unfair. None of us are experiencing the rewards outside of about 50 people on each district, and it feels very skewed. So I would love to know your thoughts on this. I'd love to know what you're feeling about this. I'm gonna show you this AFK stage at the very end here, so hold for that. But thank you for sticking throughout this whole video and listening to me ramble. I hope some of the things I've said have resonated with you, and things that you think are also positive things that could be changes to the game in the future, because I want this game to succeed. I do enjoy this game a lot. I do have a strong affinity with a lot of the characters, and I do enjoy the numerous game modes. I love the gameplay. It's just, I'm at a stage now where it's either pay or don't enjoy the game, and not just pay a little, pay significantly. And I don't think that's enjoyable for free-to-play players. If you're one of those people, please give this video a like, subscribe to the page, comment below with your thoughts on the season 1 and how you feel it's been going for you. What are your negative thoughts? What are your positive thoughts? What are your suggestions? Let me know. We stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Twitch. I'd love to see you live. If you have any further questions, please do mention it in stream. I'd love to hear what you have to say. But other than that, guys, I'll see you in the next one, and we'll roll the AFK stages. And like always, don't forget, may fortune favor your journey. Peace. What we're experiencing now, though, it looks like, is Smokey is out of range for heals right now. So we'll be fair. I want to be fair. I want to be fair here. I'll do a human fight. I don't feel like switching up every little thing. But 14 stages. 14 stages. Just so you know, most benchmarks that they have you doing, the last one I had was like 79. I believe it was 79 was the last stage. The current stage, let's look at what I have to clear to get through here. I have to hit 126. The last benchmark was like 79-ish. No, it was in the 90s. It was in the 90s. I would say low 90s. So 30 levels. And that was, what, 2 days ago? 3 days ago for me? So I'm getting about 10 levels per. And this is essentially 4 days of getting rewards in order to get to this stage.